Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. Today I'm working in my Scavenger Hunt journal, doing a few of the prompts, and this one I believe is treasure map. I'm trying to see where I am on the list. There's been so many. So I had this piece of thin scrapbook paper that kind of had the color I would think a treasure map would have, and so I used my little compass stencil, and now I'm putting north, south, east, and west on there, and we'll turn it into a treasure map. And yeah, so this is prompt, I think, 79. And I also am using this page as my monochromatic page, which is prompt 86. And then I have a piece of fabric I'm going to count as clothing because it was somebody's clothing, not necessarily mine, but so I'm just doing a random landmass. Putting a little sailboat out there. There's a lake in the middle. I do have this way sped up because it is a lot of little drawing stuff. Oh, and there's my trail. I think I put an X marks the spot. I'm not sure when this video is going to come out. Probably the heat of summer, I don't know. But I just looked outside. I'm doing the voiceover. Today's March 2nd. And we're having a freak snowstorm. And it's completely white out there. I am just like in shock. Is it March that's in like a lion, out like a lamb? In like a lamb, out like a lion? Is that March? Or am I thinking of a different month? So I would think this would be a lion. So hopefully the weather will be good on Easter weekend, which is the last few days of March this year. We always have a picnic, so hopefully it will be good weather then, because we have had it snow on Easter before. Anyway, back to our regular programming. No, I'm just kidding. So I wanted to give this map some texture, so I thought I would try the Mamagami technique a little bit, where you soften the fibers of the paper with a little bit of lotion or something on your hands, and then you just knead the paper. You're supposed to do it carefully. This is way sped up, so it doesn't look as careful as I was, but I do end up getting a couple of torn spots, so we'll do something to fix that in a bit. And I also didn't feel like it looked old enough, stained enough, or dark enough to be an old treasure map. So I'm just going around with some of the ink, and I'm using the archival in coffee, just because I prefer it not to bleed. And you can see I've torn it, darn it. So I think that's when I decide I'm done trying to do the Mamagami thing, and add in a few more lines to my little compass because I felt like it was disappearing there. And then I'm gonna, this is walnut stain, and I'm just staining it with the walnut stain to make it even more vintagey. Now we gotta let it dry. Okay, so here it is dry, and like I said, I thought that it lost something, so I'm going to do a little more ink over it to hopefully bring that compass back out. And it looks like I'm rubbing really hard. I just have a real wobbly table, and I'm sorry for the shaking on there. But that helped a little bit to make that show up. And I'll do a little bit of white pen on there too to help bring out my little arrows again. So I'm just going to pull out some washi tape to patch my the tear. And I picked something that has that kind of old look, and I'm just going to cut it to look like little teeny pieces of tape. And patch. I'm adding a little bit of glue stick to it just to make sure it stays. Putting a little X right there. And then a little piece right there. And some on the back. Alright, and still doing some more distressing. This time I put out a little bit of distressing to make myself a little bit of a, I don't know, watercolor? Ink color? Just to put some shading around the landmass that I created so that you can tell the water from the land. And that area is a little dark. That got extra walnut spray, walnut stain spray on it. And I've got some little islands out there going around the islands. Around my little ship. That's so that you know it's the ocean out there. And I'm emphasizing the little tape, trying to make them stand out a little bit. So when I decided this was going to be my monochromatic page, I wanted brown towards a little bit of yellow. And I have this material that I'm counting it as clothing. It used to be part of a dress, I think. And we're going to glue that down, put the map on. I haven't decided if I like the Barely Arts glue or not. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It tends to clog a lot easier. It takes more effort to get it to come out. So I want this map kind of rippled and stuff, and I'm sitting here trying to figure out how best to make that look like it's been, you know, crunched up a little bit. Oh, and I just happened to have that. It was the right color, so I put it on there. Has nothing to do with anything, but I just decided to add it on there. And I picked out a Tim Holtz flower and a butterfly. And I almost cover up X marks the spot. So I'm getting close to having these all done. I think this one and maybe one more video, and I will have all the pages done. I have done a flip through. I probably posted the flip through before this creation, just because I wanted it before the deadline. So that'll be linked in the description box below, along with, I don't know if I already mentioned, the Scavenger Hunt is by Janet M. Young, and a link to her channel will be down below, along with the playlist. All right, all that taken care of. So the next one of the prompts was fruit and vegetable stickers. Well, I didn't have any. I hadn't gone to the store for a while. So I wasn't going to have any for a little while. So I decided to just draw one. So I looked up the one for Chiquita Banana. I don't know if you remember the Chiquita Banana lady, but I kind of remembered that one and thought that would be a fun one to draw. Just don't look at her face too closely, please. Because drawing faces is not my strong suit. So I did sketch it out beforehand, and then just because that takes a minute for me to do. And then, yeah, I'm just going around it with one of my favorite pens. It's, I'm grabbing it. It's a Precise V5 by Pilot. I really like how they work, and I think I tested some of my pens for a previous project. I have it sitting here somewhere. So the test was to see if they would reactivate with water, and it does. It kind of turns a little bit blue with water. I did do it on mixed media paper and let it dry. I didn't use the heat tool on it, and then it's slightly smeared. I was actually hoping for something that would bleed more, but yeah, so if you wanted to know, it does bleed a little bit. Probably if you let it dry overnight or use the heat tool, it might be a little bit more permanent, but yeah. Okay, so now we're coloring her. I have these, they're watercolor markers, brush markers, that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby or Michael's, probably Hobby Lobby, quite a while ago, and yeah, I figured I should use them. I've had them for a while, and I use them every once in a while, but not very much, just because they act a lot like markers and they streak quite a bit. They're kind of streaky. You'll see when I do the blue of her dress and everything. I feel like it's a bit streaky. Not like, what's it, alcohol markers? Tombow? Well, I don't know. I'm not a marker person, so I don't know these things. But I know I've seen people do them, and maybe they do it with different paper. This is just sketchbook paper. It's heavy drawing paper by Core Enor, and it's 114 pounds, 185 GSM is the weight of the paper, and it's just a, like a 5.5 by 8.5 spiral block that that I'm using. And of course, it's another thing I found on clearance somewhere. But yeah, the image I was using had everything all in the same blue, her dress and the background and everything. But I wanted it to show up a little bit more without having to put a thick black line. So that's why her dress is kind of a lighter blue and a turquoisey color. And yeah, and then the darker blue everywhere else on my fake fruit label. Is that cheating? I don't think so, because it is a fruit label. It just doesn't happen to be an original with the stickum on it. But we'll add stickum. We'll add glue. After I get this done, I don't know if I show it. I felt like everything needed to be more bold, so I did go around with a little bit thicker marker and make a few things a little bit more bold. And that kind of helps to distract from the blue streaks. So how is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Oh my gosh, there's snow stuck to my window. Like, it's blowing sideways. I'll post a picture at the very end. You can see my snow in March. Yeah. And I'm sorry these aren't coming out faster. I just don't feel like, I feel like that would overwhelm if I put them all out really fast. Plus, I have a trip coming up. So if I have these ahead of time, that take up a bit of time, and then I do some more, I can cover all the way through my trip and then maybe even have time to create when I get back. I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. That's a long time. I can't believe work has let me take 3 weeks off. Yay. Anyway, that won't be for a while, but I'm going to build up some videos so that go straight through without a break. And yeah, sorry, I have my soda can. Yes, I drink Dr. Pepper Zero. It is one of my vices. I'm kind of addicted to it. Sorry, it's in the screen. I guess I could zoom in and then you wouldn't see it. But now that I've said it, it's there. Anyway, I'm doing good here. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you have good weather where you are. All right, so there's my recipe. That was another one of the prompts, was a recipe or recipe card. So I did a recipe on a recipe card, so that's a double. And yeah, we're just gonna ink the edges. I splattered some ink on it, trying to make it look, oldish. Use my glass dip pen, which I hardly ever use. And another one of the Scavenger Hunt items was a paper bag. So I've got a paper bag and I'm slicing it into strips, and I'm going to do ruffles around the edges of my Chiquita label. So you can see there I darkened her up a little bit thicker marker. Sorry, I've got my phone right there, and I swear every time I start to record, I get beeps and dings coming from it. I thought the strips that I created would be enough to go around, but I think I started folding more and more tight or something as I went around. Anyways, I'm excited that I'm officially done with the scavenger hunt, and I am currently working on my 100 days projects, doing abstracts. So I've got those videos coming out too. So I have a lot going on. I love doing the 100-day project because I just love having this big collection. I like this too. I like creating in a journal and having it full. One girl that's doing the scavenger hunt picked a theme or a kind of a story. I haven't seen a lot of her stuff, but that's such a good idea. Because then you have a book that has a storyline to it. Mine are all very random. But I like them anyway. My crazy Chiquita girl. Got to cut another strip because I ran out. Used more than I thought I would. Just to finish her off. And then I have to measure to see if it's going to fit. I did a little inking around the edges and then noticed it doesn't fit. So I've got to trim it down a little bit. So I end up trying to keep the ruffle even. And yeah. There we go. So it barely fits on there. We're going to stick the recipe card on there. I did bananas Foster. Like, what other recipe are you going to do with bananas? Banana split, I guess, maybe. All right. Now I want that to go on there, so I'm going to create a fold so that it will flip easily. I'm just going to create a fold out of my ruffle. And then just put glue on that one edge and it will be done. So there's a couple of pages in the book. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, do all the things. If you want to see the others, there is a playlist in the description box below where you can check out the other videos in this series. And yes, this is a really old sticker, and I decided I would just use every bit of it right there on the back side to make that side pretty. Anyways, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Why not? It's low effort, just a little thumb. That's all it takes. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have an awesome day.